we're back in studio. Oh my Lord, it feels good to be back in a studio. I mean, the home edition, that's fine. We got the messages out, but to be back where everything is working like it should, I can't tell you. Jordan Piha is our guest on this segment. Jordan has an interesting job, and we never get to see or hear from this gentleman. He is the zoological curator at the Tulsa Zoo. We're going to be talking about Building Beyond. It's a project that, well, I'm going to let Jordan tell us about it. Jordan, welcome, lad. Good to have you.
Yeah, good to be here.
You're one of those faces behind the scenes.
Yes, yeah, yep.
We need to see more about you. Let's talk a bit about what this project is all about.
Yeah, so Building Beyond is really a series of projects. It's, started back in 2012 with our rhino facility, and it's just a theme we're trying to carry on as we build a bigger, better zoo. So our next phase of that is an elephant project, which includes the largest barn in North America. And we're really proud of that. We want to build facilities that we can be proud of, that the zoo can be proud of, that the city of Tulsa can be proud of.
How in the world, how are you going to pull this off? You're talking about a major undertaking here, and once completed, I get the impression it's going to make it a world-class zoo.
That's the goal, definitely. So we have elephants at the zoo right now. We have 3 of them. They will stay at the zoo during construction. We're actually building an entirely new facility. They're going to go move in over there. Then we're going to renovate our current facility. So we're not only expanding their current situation here at the zoo, they're getting a whole new renovation on their house that they're living in now.
You know, I have to tell you, Jordan, I read a lot, maybe spend too much time reading, but I was going through a Smithsonian magazine not too long ago and came across an article on elephants and how sensitive their feet are. I had no idea that they can utilize their feet for vibration of things in the distance. I mean,
yeah, they can communicate that way. They send out these really low rumblings.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, go through their feet, but they can sense them through their feet from other elephants.
And it's also a vulnerable point on an elephant, is it not?
Yeah, you have to take care of them. We take care of our elephant feet, every day. They put them up, then they get a little bit of a pedicure every single day.
Sweet. I understand there will be meerkats involved. We had no pictures of meerkats, but I love those critters, man.
Yeah, so that's actually our second project that'll be kicking off. Elephants, we hope to break ground here this spring. We will be breaking ground here this spring. And then after that, we are breaking ground on African wilds carnivores. And that's going to be, about 7 acres through the middle of the zoo. And it does include meerkats. Yeah.
Can't wait to see that. The meerkat structure, I sometimes think meerkats look to humans for guidance, and then they just go back to their burrows, throw their hands up in disgust. But they always have a lookout.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it's very important in meerkat society to have somebody looking out for the rest of the group at all times.
It's sort of a captain of the guards, if you will.
Yeah, we actually call it a sentinel. Is what?
Right. I accidentally got one right. Zebras, we got zebras coming.
Yeah, so zebras are something we hear about all the time. People love zebras. Obviously, a very iconic species. People in Tulsa who've been here a while remember zebras. And so we are bringing them back with the African Wilds Project.
Many years ago, back before you were born, my dad and mom took a trip to Mexico, just across the line, and there was a tourist stop there where you could have your picture made on top of a zebra. You just get up, sit on the zebra. And so they took my picture. I think I was maybe 4 years old, and I had on shorts, like a typical American tourist. And I was starting to get back in the car, Mom said, "What's that all over your legs?" And my dad, stopped the car, got out, looked. He said, "It's paint." Wasn't a zebra.
Well, I promise we'll have real zebras at the zoo. there'll be no pain.
Carnivores. What are we getting?
Yeah, it is a new home for our African painted dogs. It's a new home for lions. It's a new home for Diana monkeys, which currently live in our conservation center. And then the picture you're showing right now, we are bringing to the zoo pygmy hippos. So that'll be the first at the
Okay,
Tulsa
let me
Zoo.
stop you right there. What's the difference
Yeah.
between a pygmy hippo and a regular hippo that'll capsize your boat and eat you?
Yeah, about 3,000 pounds. That's about the difference. Yeah. Yeah, these guys are smaller, 350 to 500, 600 pounds at most. They live more in the forest, a little more on land. They definitely do get in the water though. Everyone is very familiar, I think, with the big, river hippos, featured in a lot of children's books, of course, right? These guys are very similar, just a lot smaller.
Holy Toledo, I had no idea there was a pygmy hippo. I can't wait to see that exhibit. What else have
Yeah.
we got coming?
So there'll be a couple of new reptile exhibits in this whole complex. You showed up on the screen, new home for lion and painted dog, of course. Everything there is getting a larger yard, larger holding, and we're just excited to be building world-class facilities that put us kind of on the leading edge of zoo animal care.
Was there some mention, or did I just dream it? Is there some mention of some sort of dog that you're bringing in?
Yeah, so we have them already. They're African wild dogs.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about them.
They typically live in really large hunting groups. Typically, it's a matriarch society, so the highest female runs the group, and they're very unique. They can run for miles and miles and miles, and that's actually how they hunt. Is they take turns running after their prey while the pack sits back, and then they'll send sprinters up forward and exhaust their prey. Actually, but they have lots of communication that goes on with that. Really complex society and complex hunting activities.
I'm not sure how much time I've got left, but there are a couple of things I want to ask you about. Number one, this is going to take a lot of money.
It is. Yep.
How are we getting the money to do this?
So Elephants is nearly fully funded. It was funded through Vision 2020, the taxpayer initiative, and then a few donors have chipped in to finish it off. And then African Wilds is fully, donor funded. And so we are actively fundraising to finish that project off right now.
I hope, beyond everything else, I really hope and pray that you'll have somebody do a video recording of each development as it started, worked on, and finished, because there's going to be a lot of history out of this.
There is a lot of history. Just if we go back to elephants for 1 second, we've had elephants here since the 50s. They've been in at least 4 different locations during that time. And it's really neat to look back on those pictures and see where we've been and where we're going.
How about the giraffes? Are we doing okay with giraffes?
Oh, giraffes are doing excellent. Yes.
That's great. Didn't we have a young one not too long ago?
We did have a young one, and we work with other zoos around the country in partnerships to sustain giraffe populations. So he is now living at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo in Colorado.
You've got to be the kind of fella, and I hope I'm not insulting you, but you've got to be the kind of guy with his eye on the horizon. What's next? What are we going to do after this? Is there land to accommodate it?
We have land to accommodate all of this. So we have actually acquired several acres in Mohawk Park to expand elephants. The initial project is going to total 15 acres, but we have land to go beyond that in the future if we want to. And then for the African Wilds project, that's actually going to sit on top of some of our exhibits that we have right now, right through the middle of the zoo, about 7 acres.
I'd be interested to know, when you're home at night and you've had a long day and you've hit the shower, you've had dinner, and it's time to crash, do the thoughts ever cross your mind as about what you're a part of, this major development? Because it is a major development.
All the time. I'm from a small town in Kansas. I tell my wife, all the time, I can't believe I get to do what I get to do. It definitely feels like a dream every day.
Well, I'll tell you what you folks are doing out there is incredible. What are we seeing right now?
So that's right there was a penguin chick, an African penguin chick. We unfortunately lost her, a couple of weeks ago. She didn't make it, but those pictures right there are of Hadari. That's the first white rhino calf ever born in Tulsa. We've had rhinos since the early 80s.
And it's a white
And,
rhino?
That is a white rhino right there. So that's him out exploring his habitat. He's about 4 months old and 450 pounds.
Beautiful tiger.
That picture there is Dara. She's 8-month-old Malayan tiger. She's really special. There are only 50 Malayan tigers in AZA zoos across the country. There's less than 200 of them in the wild. We have 5 Malayan tigers here in the zoo. So
wow, I can't wait to come out and see this.
Yeah.
And I want to watch this development. This is really going to be something, Jordan. Listen, before we close out, I do want to tell you we want you back,
Sure.
especially as this thing gets closer to actually turning soil with a shovel or a scoop, whatever. We'd like to get you back to talk more about it and maybe get some video as it's being done to go along with what you're talking about. Because in some ways, it's hard to imagine, we've got a great zoo, but a world-class zoo like this, man, that's going to put this place on the map.
It really is going to change what people here in Tulsa, if they haven't been to other zoos, or even if they have, it's really going to change their expectations of us.
Yeah, and it's going to encourage the young ones to come out and really take an interest instead of saying, "Look, Daddy, a bear." They're going to take a solid educational interest in it and probably pursue it. Somebody will be after your job.
Hopefully, yes. Yeah.
Well, Jordan, I want to thank you for taking time to visit with us and to share your dream and your vision and the future. It's just wonderful, and we look forward to seeing it all happen.
Absolutely. Come out anytime.
Okay, we got your phone number on speed dial, so don't try to leave town. I have friends at the border. Thank you, Jordan. We'll talk again.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have for this get together in studio. Yes, back in studio here at Rogers State University. Thank you for being a part of it, and we'll see you next time.